Hey, how's it going, everyone, and welcome to another top 5 list. Today, guys, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 picks for locations I would like to see in future Sly Cooper installments, whether that be in Sly 5 or any other future Sly title that we may get. In the Sly Cooper series, there are always so many amazing locations that we can go ahead and visit for individual episodes. It really is a worldwide journey for each game, but it seems as if the farther we get into the series, the more certain locations are starting to be reused, and there are certain locations that we really haven't seen before, or at least on a full scale yet, and there are some areas that I really would like to see make an appearance. So in today's list, I'm going to tell you guys the 5 locations that I want Sly to visit in a future Sly Cooper game. Now, for the first one, hear me out. It's Egypt. Now, I know that obviously we're going to see Egypt in some form because of the cliffhanger that we received at the end of Sly 4, but I'm talking about a full-scale Egypt, an entire episode dedicated to that land. I really feel when it comes to Sly 5, San Zero might want to get Sly out of Egypt as soon as possible, and I don't want it to turn into some tutorial level. I would like the beginning to be an entire level dedicated to Egypt. It would be really cool to see Sly traverse these lands for an extended period of time just because of the amount of build-up that we have had to this episode because of the long wait and the really cool cliffhanger that we got at the end of Sly 4. It would also be really cool if Sly were to go into some pyramids maybe. I mean, we saw them in the background of the cliffhanger scene, so we know that they're there. So it'd be cool if Sly could go in them and maybe have to get to the end for some reason. I mean, I know pyramids are full of booby traps, so maybe Sly would have to traverse through it, you know, dodging booby traps, and make for an interesting platforming section similar to what we'd get if we went into the Dimitri's nightclub or some sort of segment within them. And of course, I want to see Sly Tutankhamun. It's pretty obvious that everybody wants to see him at this point. He was one of the most interesting ancestors, I think, in the Sly Cooper series, and he was the creator of the Thievius Raccoonus. This will be his episode, and it's one of the reasons why I want to see it on a full scale, so we can spend time with this character. The next location is something we have seen before, but I would like to see return and done on a full scale. I'm talking about Paris. Now, not Dimitri Nightclub Paris, I mean a full-scale Paris to explore. We know that Sly's main hideout with the gang is in Paris, but we've never really seen it, except for in Sly 4, but you could only play missions there. You're never really able to explore. I would like a fully realized Paris. Maybe we could have an episode with just Bentley, Murray, and Carmelita trying to figure out where Sly is, maybe have some missions where you have to go find clues on what happened, and then maybe once Sly returns from Egypt to do another mission in Paris with Sly. I've always just been really curious on what it really looks around Sly's hideout, and I would love to see it fully realized in Sly 5. Really, it could just be a way to connect the end of Sly 4's story to the beginning of Sly 5's story after Sly gets back from Egypt, and maybe have a few missions in there, like I said, with just Bentley, Murray, and Carmelita. I think that'd be really the way to go if you were going to do something like that. The next location I did have in mind is more of just a general idea of what this place could look like instead of our particular area. Like, this is where it's going to take place. I'd like a beach slash paradise little area, you know, more sunny than we would usually see in Sly Cooper, something that we would see in normal bright and colorful 3D platformers. Now, I know Sly's overall theme is much darker because, you know, he's sneaks throughout the night, but we have had areas where it's much brighter and it's during the day. In Dead Man Tells No Tales in Sly 3, we actually got a little island area where we would go and do treasure hunts and stuff like that. I really like the feel of that area. Now, it's not too traditional to Sly, but I don't know, we don't really see Sly and areas like that, and I think that's the reason why we have been rehashing a lot of the same areas slash themes, is because we were limited to certain areas because of Sly's overall feel and aesthetic. I think if we changed it up a little bit and did something a little bit similar to what we did in Sly 3, it would be really cool. It'd be something different, and you can still have the sneaking around as always. The next location is something similar to Paris, and once again, it really could be anywhere. Let's say New York City. I would like a city-themed level. Now, I know we have had urbanized areas like Mugshot's Place and Paris, but really, we haven't had a full-on city. Like, this is where it's going to take place. Something like we saw in the Sly Cooper movie teaser trailer. What I really liked about that is we saw Sly in an area that we haven't seen him in too much. A really, really condensed city area. I mean, actual streets with moving cars. I think that would be an interesting idea that we haven't really seen. We saw it from above in Sly 4, and we've seen it outside in Sly 2, but really we can't interact with anything. Maybe have actual people wandering around. Maybe it's too much of a stretch. But I feel as we haven't seen Sly in a fully urbanized area, an actual inner city, I think it would be an interesting idea because, like I said, we've never really seen it before, and that's why I really liked the Sly Cooper movie teaser trailer, was because we saw Sly in a location that he really hasn't been fully in. Like I said, New York City could work. I think it would be the perfect place. It's a very recognizable name, and it would just overall make sense. I don't know, maybe have Sly visit the Eiffel Tower. I have no idea. It's just a crazy idea that I thought, and it would be something that I would really enjoy seeing. The last location is something that we have seen before, but it's something that I do want to see return, because I had so much fun with it in Sly 2, and I do think it has much more potential than it actually used. And it's a jungle-themed area for Sly 5, or any other future Sly game. What I really liked about Episode 3 is that you had all these vines and trees to go off of. Sly is really good at climbing and sliding, and it really just fit his persona. I would like to see that again, but on a whole other level. I really think that the vines and the way Sly travels should be broadened in this area. Make it much more important. Maybe have the slides and the branches be the actual way how you transfer from place to place. Maybe have designated areas and where it all takes place high above the ground in some trees, and maybe have it stretch off into a bunch of different areas, and to get there, you have to get on a bunch of vines. I think it'd be a really cool way of transportation and would make for a really cool level design. Like I said, I don't have any particular area in mind for this to take place in. It really could just be anywhere, but that's my general thoughts on how the level would work. But anyways, guys, that is all for today's video. I hope you all did enjoy. Make sure to tell me what your top 5 locations you would like to see in Sly 5 down in the comments below. I'd love to read them. By the way, guys, I have another top 5 coming very soon. It is a collab with Sly Cooper Glitches, and we're going to be talking about our favorite Sly Cooper glitches. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And speaking of collabs, I've been working with Mulatto Sly on a brand new series called Bottle Hunt. If you want to know more about it, I made a video on my channel basically introducing you guys to the series, and episode 1 is out on Mulatto Sly's channel. Episode 2 will be uploaded to this channel later this week. So make sure that you do stay up to date on that. It's going to be an 8-week series, or an 8-episode series spanning over 8 weeks. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be racing to see who can get all 30 bottles and all 8 of Sly 2's episodes. But that's all for today's video. Like I said, I hope you all did enjoy, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.